Hello everyone, this is Arun. In this video, we are going to watch how to use EasyTally Classic version 1. This utility is for transferring basic accounting vouchers and ledgers from Excel to Tally ERP. There are two sheets dedicated for vouchers. The first one is Vouchers Dual and second one Vouchers Multi. We can use Vouchers Dual sheet to pass entries with two ledgers and Vouchers Multi sheet to pass entries with more than two ledgers. In Vouchers Dual sheet, for every voucher, we just need to enter date, voucher type, debit account, credit account and the amount. Voucher number and narration is optional. But if we have vouchers with more than two ledgers, then we shall use Vouchers Multi-sheet. In this sheet, amount should be given for each ledger account. Debit amount should be negative value and credit amount should be positive. For example, for cash sales, cash must be debited with negative 5,000, that is minus 5,000, and sales must be credited with positive 5,000. We can enter vouchers manually one by one or copy paste from other Excel file. I'll enter few basic entries for our demonstration. I'll make one more entry. We can also copy paste data from other Excel file. I'll copy few entries from my sample data file. We need to ensure that sum of all ledger amounts in an entry is 0. For this purpose, we can peek into check total available in the last column. This check total will be showing the sum of all ledger amounts for each entry. This check total appears automatically as we enter a new voucher and also gets updated automatically. Now to pass these entries into Tally, we need to generate XML file and import it into Tally. We can generate XML file by simply clicking this Generate XML button on the top or by pressing Ctrl+Shift+G altogether. Now we can save this XML file wherever we want and then import it into Tally. We can give the name we wish. By default, it will be showing vouchers.xml. Before importing this XML file, please make sure all ledgers in the sheet already exist in your Tally data. If not, we can either manually create them in Tally or import ledgers using our utility also. There are some more buttons on the top other than Generate XML, Validate Entries, Fetch Ledgers, Clear Data. First, I'll explain to you that one by one and then we shall generate XML file with some sample entries using our utility and then post it into Tally. These buttons on the top are available in both voucher entry sheets. Last button is Clear Data. This one will simply clear all the data in the sheet. Note that once a sheet is cleared, you cannot retrieve them back using Undo option. We can validate entries using Validate Entries button and ensure that all entries are complete and error-free. For demonstration, I'll copy paste some 1000 sample entries with some incomplete and wrong entries. It will just take 1 or 2 seconds to validate 1000 entries. So this has now generated validation error report. We can see the total number of errors and description of each error. We can also see that all cells with validation errors are highlighted in red. This is for our easy identification. This red color will be removed if we correct and revalidate our entries. I'll show you a sample. I have corrected the first entry now. I'll again revalidate. So now this entry is valid. Entries will also be validated every time before generating our XML file. Next button is Fetch Ledgers. This is an interesting feature in our utility. As I said before, we need to ensure that all ledgers must exist in Tally before we import vouchers. For this purpose, to collect unique ledgers from the voucher sheet, we can use Fetch Ledger button. I'll demonstrate that now. Now I click Fetch Ledger button. So it has fetched 15 unique ledgers. We can fill its parents and opening balance. We can also add address details and GST details of the ledger account wherever needed. So now I have filled the parent details for first two ledgers. We can also add more voucher entries and fetch again. I'll add few more entries to our voucher sheet. Now I'll press Fetch Ledger button again. This time it asks whether I want to clear all ledgers in the ledger sheet before fetching ledgers from the voucher sheet. If I press yes, this will first clear the existing list of ledgers in the ledger sheet and then make a new list of ledgers. If I press no, this will keep the existing list of ledgers and then look for ledgers which does not exist in the ledger list currently. I'll demonstrate both the options now. First I'll press no, so it has added 10 new ledgers to the existing list. This is from the additional entries which I copy pasted. Now again I'll fetch ledgers, this time I'll press yes. So it has created 25 ledgers, but all my other ledger details will be lost. We can also press cancel to abort the fetch function. In many cases, companies will have custom created voucher type and master type. To enable our users to add vouchers with different voucher types and master types, we have an option in our utility to add them to our default list available in datasheet. To add a new data type, we shall go to datasheet, select a cell from the column into which we need to add data. I wish to add new voucher types, so I'll select a cell in first column, that is column A, and then click add new type. You can also press Ctrl Shift A. Now a small input box appears. I'll add cash sales and then press enter. I'll add one more, credit sales, enter. We can keep on adding as much as we want and then press cancel to close it. We can also directly click from the voucher sheet cell to add that voucher type. I'll add credit purchase. Same applies for master type. Select a cell in second column, that is column B, and then press add new type. We can now check if the data type is added. In voucher sheet, we can see whether the drop down in the voucher type have that new data types. So all my new voucher types are added. To remove any data type, just select them and then press remove type. Note that only custom made data type can be removed. Now I'll create a sample company in Tally and post few sample vouchers and masters for you. The company is now created. I'll copy paste vouchers from the sample entry list to vouchers multi-sheet. Since we don't have all ledgers in these vouchers in Tally, we will first import ledgers to Tally. We can use this fetch button, but we need to fill master type and other details. So for time being, I am copy pasting master from my sample data itself. Now I'll press generate XML. This will also validate before generating XML. I'll save this master XML and import it into Tally. Import data, masters. We have three options here: combine opening balance, ignore duplicates, modify with new data. Last two options will help if we are not sure whether the ledgers in the utility is already present in Tally or not. If we are not sure about the details we have entered in the utility, we can select ignore duplicates. This will ensure that only new ledgers will be created and ledgers already available in Tally with different details will be ignored. If we are sure about the details we have entered in the utility, we can select modify with new data. This will modify all the data of the ledgers already present in the Tally. So now all ledgers are imported. We can check that from accounts info, ledgers, display. We will pass the vouchers now. Generate XML. We will now import this to Tally. Import data, vouchers. All vouchers are imported. We can check that from display, statement of accounts, statistics. All entries are successfully imported. So I have covered all the main features of our utility. Do read the instruction sections in the base sheet for more details. This is the first version of our utility, so I'll be adding more features in the upcoming days. You will be receiving those updates directly in our utility. Link to the videos on feature updates will be given in the description. You can also always contact me for your queries and feedback. You can also leave your comments below. And I have given the download link of the latest version in the description. This utility is completely free and will work on all Tally ERP versions. Thank you.